Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, we're going to be talking about pre-IPO investing right here on the Investor Show and how pre-IPO investing made me 68% return in about 7 months. But if you haven't done so already, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and make sure. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you are now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And as always, I don't have a whole lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a whole lot of time, so we're going to jump straight into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about how an IPO company made me about 68% in just a short matter of time. So let's first go into this. Let me put this on the bottom of the screen. Y'all give me 1 second. I've been gone for a couple of days, but I'm back in. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the Shark Tank. So there I was as a young man. I looked at the TV show called Shark Tank. And the TV show Shark Tank gave me the great idea of, I said, wow, I want to be an initial investor one day. I want to be like an initial investor, like how people get into pre-IPOs, right? So I always was interested in creating an app or something like that where you can invest into small businesses, small companies or whatever, right? So as time went on, we got new companies like we have today. We have new companies like today, like we have Start Engine, Republic, and WeFunder. Now, what Start Engine, WeFunder, and Republic does, and et cetera, is probably putting more of them out there. What they do is they allow you to invest into companies before they go public. So for prime example, this was always saved for accredited investors, people who had a lot of money. I want to say about 2 million, somewhere around that range, which is not a whole lot of money. It's $2 million net worth and $1 million liquid. So these companies used to allow you to own, these companies now, when President Obama came out, I think in 2016, and part of, I think, one of his acts, I can't remember the exact act, but it allowed people to fundraise or crowdfund from lower sources, maybe people who wasn't credited investors. This opened up a new market called the pre-IPO market, where everyday people can invest into IPO companies. This is where you started companies like Start Engine, WeFunded, and Republic. Even myself, back in 2014, I launched an app called IBOH, IABOH, which was Investors and Business Owners Hub, which it was going to take regular investors like you and I and allow us to invest into companies across the country. So, I launched it. I took it to Shark Tank and I became a finalist. I didn't make the final episode. It took a whole lot more capital than I realized when I first got out there. And if I was to do it today, my possibility of success would be a whole lot higher. But, it is what it is, But anyway, these companies did it successfully. Start Engine, WeFunded, and Republic. Now, the pre-IPO, this is a pre-IPO that I invested in. Now, I'm talking about Ideanomics. They brought out the electric vehicle company called Solectrac, I think it's called, right? And I invested in the Solectrac as a pre-IPO from Start Engine, right? So this pre-IPO was a regular company. It was a startup company talking about how it was going to, it was a simple concept for me. I saw it, last year I was very big on the green energy train. The green energy train meaning solar panels on cars, solar panels on houses, solar panels everywhere, right? So what I did was I saw this company called Solectrac, and it was saying, hey, we're going to take solar panels and we're going to put solar panels on tractors so when we make food. So when I thought about the simple concept, me going back to my brain in Georgia saying, I remember in Georgia seeing all of these companies that were, all these tractors. I knew friends and family members that worked on tractors that they had their own farms. So by them having their own farms, they would no longer need diesel. They could use solar power. Because I remember those days when I saw people riding on tractors, those tractors, it was hot outside. So essentially I said, that makes sense. We're always going to have food. We're always going to have some type of manpower, tractors and, heavy machinery or whatever. And it's always hot outside. especially down South Georgia with all these crops that are being grown, you put a solar panel on the back of one of those, hey, that makes sense to me. And you can invest into it, I want to say $250 with the minimum. So I said, hey, I could grab a couple shares. There's a couple hundred shares of this. No biggie. So I did, and that was probably back in November of last year. So this was the company. So here we go. This is where the 68% return comes from. Let me share this with y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me find this out. Right here. Did I get this email? This email says, dear friends, we're excited to share with you that our major milestone today, Ideanomics, IDEX has acquired 100% of Solectrac's and a strategic move that will help advance our companies across various businesses and functions. We will be renamed Solectrac by Ideanomics by leverage the company influenced by synergies in the clean energy technology space. So I invested into this company 7 months ago as a pre-IPO, and then a publicly traded company came in and brought the company. Now, what does that mean for me when I look at that, right? Let's go back. Let's take a look. What does that mean for an investor who turned around and invested into this company way before? Here we go. I'm going to pull this up. So right here, it says, Dear Solectrac security holder, as you may know, certain communications, blow this up here. It says, okay. As you may know, certain communications about public announcements of Solectrac has been acquired. And it says, first, you're receiving a letter of transmittal. They give me this whole little letter. And they said, hey, secondly, we appreciate the information stated in the letter. It is critical to review the details, but to clarify 2 points. The initial payout is for approximately $1.68 per share in cash. So for prime example, they're saying this company is looking to pay people out $1.68 in cash. I think Start Engine was selling these things for like $1 or less. So around $1 or less, I think. As a security holder, you will be eligible to receive additional earn cash, additional earn out consideration. Subject to contingency described in the information stated, you may be eligible to receive the portion due to any earnings, earnouts in Ideanomics stocks, right? So for prime example, then I looked, I said, wow, this is a publicly traded company that's only about $3 per share. So my first instinct is, hey, I want this Start Engine, this Solectrac stock that I purchased. I just want it transferred to Ideanomics, which is IDEX, is the stock symbol, right? So I purchased these things from $1 on Start Engine, around about $1 on Start Engine. And now today they're telling me, hey, a new company came out and purchased them for $1.68 per share, almost 6-7 months later. Pretty good idea. Pretty good thing for me as an investor. Now here's the downside. The downside of investing with IPOs is when I went into Solectrac, I liked the idea, but there was no finances. I didn't know how much money the company had made, how much money the company had lost, how much money the company had stolen. I didn't know anything. I had no financial indicators. When you get a lot of these pre-IPOs, like on Republic WeFunder, I can't speak for Republican WeFunder, but for Start Engine, you don't really get to see the pure finances. You don't get to see the 10K and a 10Q, the income statement, the balance sheets, things like that. You kind of got to believe in the idea. So, well, I won't say you don't have to, but that's kind of how it's set up right now. Now, when I look at this, the thing I liked about this the most, no investing into friends and family owned businesses. Why do I say this? I've done this before, right? I invested into friends and family. When you invest into friends and family, it's mostly like an idea. Hey, I want to open up a barbershop. I want to open up a clothing store, a studio, or whatever. And it's not organized. What I mean by organized, I mean, not saying they're not an organized person. The business is not organized. It's one person ran. If that person gets sick or something happens with that person, the whole business just blows up. So for prime example, who's keeping up with the accounting? They don't have it in accounting. You don't get statements. When I invested in Solectrac, I got statements every quarter, every month. They let me know what was going on with the company. They let me know what happened with the company. They let me know everything. You don't get this with friends and family because they usually are one person owned. Now, as they grow and build a team, they have accounting, they have transparency, they have custodians, things like that, then they may become possible. But this is why I wouldn't do that, because now you have access to pre-IPOs, companies that are already organized. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's my whole idea of how I made a 68% return on investment from Solectrac being brought out by Ideanomics. So, I'm not looking for that to be my only payout. I'm looking to transfer that into Ideanomics stocks and forget about it. This was throwaway money anyway, but I just wanted to open this up to you guys and girls as new investors. All right. See what y'all say in the comments before I roll out of here. How you doing there, Dana? Lucky's mom. How you doing there, Lucky's mom? And P for life. Lucky's mom down there in Jacksonville, and P for life out of Phoenix, Arizona. Thank y'all for tuning in on this early episode. Just want to share that with you guys and girl. Ideanomics was purchased by Solectrac. Why it's such a big deal for myself. This was my first time trying a pre-IPO on Start Engine, and I was very shocked to see that it got purchased out by a publicly traded company. But anyway, until the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy y'all see me doing around the globe, my name is Prince Dykes. This is the Investor Show. Peace. Be safe. I'm out. And thank you.